You know, a subject that I think is a very humbling subject, and it's a very deep subject, and it's a hard subject for everyone, whether you're a pastor or wherever you are, is the whole subject of prayer. You know, in my office, I have an entire shelf of books about prayer. And I'm involved in a prayer group in my church weekly, and we pray in our churches, we pray during the week, we have a prayer chain. But the reality is that many of us, prayer is a very difficult and sometimes hard thing. And maybe at the heart of it is this question that maybe you might have, or we've all had at one time. Lord, why haven't you answered my prayer? Why haven't you gone ahead and done something about this situation? I think we all wrestle with that. And I think there are many cynical Christians, many disillusioned Christians, and maybe you today, who one of the reasons you're not more excited about the Lord is He doesn't seem to be doing the things that you had asked Him and prayed for Him to do. You know, He didn't do that. He didn't heal this. He didn't fix that. He didn't stop that. And I think all of us having experiences like that, we sometimes let those disappointments or misunderstandings really take an edge off our relationship to the Lord. I know that certainly has happened to me. I think the most important thing I could say to you in this brief time today is that one of the gifts that the Lord gives us is unanswered prayer. Doesn't that sound weird? I mean, it really sounds weird. I mean, one of the gifts that the Lord gives us is unanswered prayer. And let me just start from that point for this reason. Because as I go back and look over my life, and if the Lord had answered all of the prayers that I had prayed, my life would be such a train wreck and a disaster today, it's unbelievable. I had prayed about certain things with relationships. I had prayed about certain things with money and career and things that I was going to do. And you know, the wonderful thing is that many of those things, God did not answer them. But because He didn't answer them, I have been able to find the Lord in ways I never dreamed of. I never thought I'd be a pastor. I never thought I'd be in the ministry. I had all kinds of other prayers about things that I was going to be doing with my life, but the Lord has His own plan. And now today, after watching the plan a little more, I rejoice and thank God for not listening to me on some of the things that I had asked, because in the end, He knew best. Now, what I'm sharing here is a simple thing, but it's profound, is that God shows His love by not giving us what we ask for. Just like any parent not always giving its child what it wants. The Lord knows better, and that is the deeper level of prayer that we've got to go to as people of God. We've got to go there and say, Lord, I thank You for not answering everything because I know that You know better. That's the foundation, I think, of really having the right attitude about prayer. Does that mean that that's going to answer all the things about prayer that we don't understand? Absolutely not. But I think if you will honestly consider all of your prayers and all of the things you've asked the Lord for, I think if you're honest today, you'd recognize there's a number of things that you've asked for, looked for, and hoped for, and gone to the Lord for that didn't happen. And now maybe many years later you're saying, thank God it didn't. May the Lord give us a perspective on prayer. May He give us the opportunity to think deeper about this great question and not to be discouraged about this subject, but to think deeper and to love Him more. It's not easy, but as we grow and walk in Him, it's possible, and it's happened to me.